talk to my friends. I'm like, they call me and they say, Mahesh, can I get a product manager in AI? And I get like, sure, I have a lot of them. I ask them, what are you looking for? And I think two things that come always. One, do they know the limitation of technology? And number two is everybody wants to work with builders. So all you need to do is learn one thing. Good morning if you are in US PST. Good evening if you're in India. And in between, there is a good afternoon. Who am I? I am Mahesh. I have worked in all man companies. I think that's my claim to fame. And I worked in agentic frameworks. I build agentic frameworks. I build the large language models. Then I get to build the frameworks, and then I get to use the frameworks to build agents to automate the back office of GCP. And this is my journey all across. This is on screen. What you're looking at is 20 years of journey, 15 years as a developer, 5 years as a product manager. And now I have my own company where I'm trying to do what I did for GCP to everybody, which is we are trying to see how can we automate back office. So imagine autonomous back office, like your legal department, your finance, and your compliance is automated using agents. So rather than hiring a lot of people in your back office operations team, you can hire AI agents to do the job. And obviously, they will report to your CFO, CLO, because their signatures are still needed on documents. But everything else can be done by agents. And hopefully, I can show you that obviously, we are a lot far from that kind of a future of everything automated, but we are not that far. That's one of the goals today. And hopefully, today's agenda makes you feel that after 6 months, you will say that, oh, we took all of that for granted. There is new way of doing things. So today we will be talking about coding agents like Claude, and we will talk about why they are ahead of chatbots, why they are top of mind for every person who is building strategy or building products. This idea of getting work done, whether it's code or whether it's the work that you are doing, why that is important for all of us. And again, I will share some of the hiring trends, why this is important for you if you are trying to get hired or you are trying to build things inside your companies. And then I will give you a quick lab on setting up Claude Cowork, how it works, how can you make it work for you. And that's where we will spend, I think, 50 to 60% of our time. But then I will also show you what's the differences between Claude Code and Cowork. And in between somewhere, I will switch to the board. I have one, and hopefully it works out, where I will show you behind the scenes how they are working, the secret sauce of building these action taking agents, which are trying to do the work for you, how they are built, so that you know the fundamentals. And if you know the fundamentals, you know the limitations of these technologies as well. So that's the plan today. First, let's look at some data. Why are they cool? Or why people are talking about this? This is Claude Code. Claude Code is one of the agents which can help developers write better code, understand code, refactor code, or do anything inside your coding editor. And that has grown, doubling the number of develop users month on month. This was just last 4 months. After that, 2 months have passed, but we don't have that data. That should have gone 2x or 4x more by this time. And I was reading they just crossed $1 billion in revenue in less than 6 months, which is a huge number for a company which makes $8 billion and just last product made $1 billion for them. So who is using this tool? When they looked at the data, they found out they build it for developers, but 35% of other people are also using the tool to get the work done. And that's where they produced Claude Cowork, which is an easier version rather than terminal. It's visual and you can use it. But this one is more important than the numbers on the other side, that the margins of shipping a code-based agent is 40 points above or 50 points above than shipping a chatbot. So if you're ChatGPT, your margins are 35%. If you are Claude Code, your margins are 85%. That means you're making same kind of money that Microsoft Office used to make, which has a huge networking effect. So even if they have half number of subscribers, they will be able to beat OpenAI in revenue. Or anybody who's building these outcome-based agent will have a higher monetization or higher numbers on getting to profitability. And that's why it has become center stage, or that's why it has taken center stage of attention for every company to go after these kind of agents, because they get the work done. And when you get the work done, people are more willing to pay for it and not ask for more free usage. This is, you can see ChatGPT to Claude, and you are seeing across these finance sectors, the top 5% or 10% people are doubling down on Claude rather than ChatGPT. But why is this important to you? These are the hiring signals. When I talk to my friends, I'm like, they call me and they say, Mahesh, can I get a product manager in AI? And I get like, sure, I have a lot of them. And then I ask them, look, what are you looking for? And I think two things that come always. One, do they know the limitation of technology? Have they iterated on the tech stack enough that they know what it cannot do? Everybody knows what it can do, but I want to talk to people who know what it cannot do, so that I need not to teach them. That's number one, they tell me. And number two is everybody wants to work with builders. Why? Because it just gives them infinite scaling. One person can do a job of 2 to 3 people, and these product managers knows how to unblock themselves by using these AI tools. These two keep coming, and that is proven by this data also. If you look at this, prototyping to production AI experience is on the top. But if you look at working closely with engineering, building with AI tools, if you are here, you may not be even getting calls at this point. But if you are here, you are getting a lot of calls. Maybe conversion is the problem. Hopefully, we can fix that. But your job is to move from here to here and have all of these. So this is the tech stack. This we took from, I think, Lanny's newsletter, where he put out the tech stack for product managers. He did the survey. He found out these are the tools product manager use. And that was, I think, a month ago. This was true. But today, this picture looks very different. It looks like you can just learn one tool, Claude Code or Maltbot or Cowork, and that will learn all these tools to work for you. So you are learning one interface. You are going to that operating system, which is what Cowork is becoming or Claude Code is becoming, and then they can go and interact with Figma and get you the Figma files. So you need not to learn 20 agents or buy these subscriptions. This one agent can does the work of all of it. So all you need to do is learn one thing. And as humans, we always find to look for the leverage to do one thing and then get maximum benefits. And this is the first time we have something which allows us to learn one thing and then have that leverage. And when I looked at it, I was like, okay, we need to go and do Claude Code and co-work sessions so that we can bring our community from here to here. And this is our first step in that direction. Obviously, we did a Claude Code lab also, but we will be doing co-work, and I will show you most of these work. And hopefully when I show you, you get that confidence that yes, this is true. And I can do much more today with co-work than I could do without co-work. That's my goal today. But before I go there, let's just go behind the scenes and see how these agentic workforce, all Claude Code, co-work, Maltbot, how they actually work. I think there are like 3 or 4 things that happened. And now they are coming together to offer this kind of things that are doing work for us, where we can WhatsApp them, they can do the work and they can WhatsApp back. But what are these basic things? I think the first thing that made this possible is, of course, some kind of LLMs, which are trained on the world data and can make you behave or do a Q&A with you. That's the first step. Second thing is context. Okay, we can pass context. We can give them our folders. We can also add things to our prompts. And that context plus the LLM can make very relevant things for us, because this LLM can only answer questions which are universal. But if you combine these two, it becomes specific to you or your company. This is the company symbol, by the way, still the smoke are coming out and all the factory systems, all that. Okay, so that's you and your company. The third one is even more fun, which is these LLMs kind of got a thinking or planning capabilities. That happened last year. Last year? Yeah, last year. And then we got a lot of tools which became MCP servers, so anybody can discover and call them. This is also, we are thinking of this as a context piece. So these two evolved. LLM became thinking LLM, and the context also got added to the tools. So now you can call browser to do browsing. You can click on pages. You can actually go on Slack and start sending messages. You can access HubSpot and on and on. If you combine all of this, this becomes an agent SDK, which is what Claude provides you with all these capabilities in it. So you got an LLM that can think, you got a context that you can provide in folders and prompts, and you get access to all the tools. That's an SDK. You can write code that allows you to play with it. But how they actually work is very simple. What happens is now you have you, which is assigning a task. And based on this task, there is an LLM with thinking capabilities, which creates a plan. And based on plan, it calls a tool, and this tool does the work. And then it goes and checks, is the work done? And if no, then it calls another tool, does the work, checks, and keep doing this. This capability is also something that's new, which is called running long horizon task that LLM just got better in last 6 months or so. So in 2025, this was 3 minutes and now it's 3 hours. So every quarter, what happened is you can run these long running jobs and these LLMs can decide the next step and keep doing these things in background. And this is how they orchestrate this combination of these tools plus your context. And now they can continue doing these tasks. And that is what making these things like Claude Code or Maltbot, if you just take out the front end or the screens on it, behind the scenes, it's very simple. First, you take an agentic SDK from Claude, you use that to create Claude Code with simple hash interface to provide context. You can, by default, give it some tools, and then you put a screen on it, a visual interface, and then you call it Cowork. And what's inside this agentic SDK? The thing we talk about, the orchestration, the ability to call tools, ability to check the work, is it done, and then keep going. This is what is inside the agentic SDK. So this is all the technical stuff that you need to learn or grow into as you get into what's going behind the scenes. And hopefully when I do the demo of Cowork, you will see all of these components coming on your screen, and planning, context, and long horizon. These are the three things. And it's just a way to present to these things, present to you in a different way. And that difference is making different products which have different user experience. But behind the scenes, it's still same fundamentals. Okay, then. Now let's go back to our screens and actually get to work and see all this in action. So all of you can actually see how these three things come together to solve real problems or build real products, because hopefully you will be building some kind of agentic products as well as you go along. But this is what is happening. An event happens, you determine the next steps, you call an API or a tool, which could be web browsing, you take the results, you say, hey, what should be the next step? You get the results, you decide the next step, and you keep going unless the task is done. This is Agent SDK, and this is pretty much behind the scenes, the secret sauce of all these agents. It's thus that the LLMs are now able to run them in a long horizon way, And that is making us all do or accomplish a lot more than what we could do earlier. But behind the scenes, the building blocks is exactly same. Okay, if the building blocks are same, what is Claude Cowork? It's it's exactly the same agent. It has access to context, but it can have access inside your computer. So it gets the access to your files, your local files. That makes it much more powerful because instead of you going, copying it, and then putting it in your drive, it can actually go do, modify your slides, review your documents, go and read from your resume, and then start applying jobs for you. And then it give you obviously these, and then it gives you the same kind of connectors. It can write code as well. Okay, Claude Code is so simple that anybody can install it. Claude Code was a little bit, had a, I would say, a 3 hour long installation and learning all the terminal things like hashtag and all. But now you don't need to worry about that because the interface is visual. You just install the Claude app, you give them money to buy a pro plan, and then you get this button called Cowork. So this is what you have if you don't have Cowork. And you can just go and select Cowork when first time you go. And so this is what you have. Then you can go to Cowork, and when you reach here, it asks you for the context. It can create files for you in that folder that you give access to. It can crunch data. It can make prototypes for you. This is lovable in action. It can organize your file. It can do customization or do various plugins. Okay, then what are we doing in this lab, or what kind of things I'm going to show you today? So one challenge that a lot of people faced when we started the cohort and people are just applying for new jobs, then they have to search jobs which are relevant to them and then apply them. And I thought maybe that is the work we can automate with Claude Cowork. So hopefully we can do that today live. That's our lab today. And when we are done, can I show you the connector piece of this story, which is on Slack? It will send you a report, say, hey, I found these 20 jobs. I applied 10 for you. These five I couldn't. Here are my reasons. And then you get an automated report. And then you can go and do work, do courses, and upgrade your skills rather than applying for jobs. So that's our goal. With that goal, we can get started. And I will quickly walk you through the lab. And when I walk you through, I will show you the interface and how it works. So this is the lab. You can follow it along or you can do it after, but it's quite simple. Our first prompt is very simple. We just say, hey, you go and do the work for me. But before I go and ask you to do the work for me, I have to set work in a folder. This is the context piece I was talking about. This is what makes it super cool. Here, what I did is I put all the context I wanted to give to Claude Code for doing my job search. Now it doesn't have access to whole of my computer. It just have access to this one folder on my desktop, which is just talking about all my files. So here I have my job strategy. What is, if you have done our course, then you know how to create this job strategy. So I have my job strategy, which is what kind of jobs I want, what is my strength, what is my weakness, how good I am, how bad I am, what do I want from life. All this is in the job strategy. It has my resume, and it created these files which I don't want it, so I can just delete them. So job context, we don't need to worry about this. This one, job applied .csv. Let's not worry about that. So I give it my job strategy, I give it my resume, and that's pretty much it. That's all I need to give. And then I also created this CSV file of all the previous jobs I applied in last 2 months. So just 3 files is all you need: a job strategy, an applied, and resume. I also gave you my job, my CV, my strategy. So you can copy my strategy or create your own strategy using my template. We have another lab which automatically creates this job strategy for you, which you can do as a homework. But let's say you got these 3 files. That is all I'm doing when I'm saying, hey, Claude, you have the context now. So you are not any chat GPT. You are basically going to work and do the job for me in the format I want. And then what I go and say, hey, you have access to following inputs: my resume, my job search strategy, a CLC file of jobs that I applied in last 2 days, because hopefully you're doing some work. And when you provide this, you have my resume. You can also put an @ sign, and then it gives you all the files it has access to. And you have to give that explicit context here. And then you can say, this is my strategy. My job strategy comes up. And this is the last context can provide because it has access to my files. So these are the jobs I applied. And with that, I will say, let's go. So now what you see is, what it is doing is, first, as you said, this is going to create a plan. And then it has taken the context, which is these 3 files. And then you're looking at these, it is viewing them. And then you can see that it will go and try to call different tools to achieve its actions. So now you will see that, okay, I got this, I got a scratch pad. So let's minimize these two. It created a plan, which is a thinking piece of the story. So it goes and creates this, I will search new job opportunities. I will filter that out on companies, jobs, details, verify the CSV. And then you get this connector. And now you see that it has gone to work. It is doing web search. It is going after these websites. And now it will do the hard work of what you couldn't do, or nobody does it for you. But it will go to all the websites in the world, and it will try to create jobs at your level based on your strategy. This work, I used to hire somebody who did this as a full-time job, and now it does it for me. And when it does, I can also go and add more instructions saying, hey, sometimes you confuse the product role with the manager role or engineering manager role, and it will remember that for the rest of our session. So that's the first step. This is the easiest part, and you can also see how it is working, and you can stop it or you can guide it during the sessions. But this was interesting enough. So what I did is, then first thing I got is that I got a list of jobs that I wanted to apply. Then I asked it to go and apply for these roles. So I said, hey, you know what? I got it. I got what you're doing. So maybe I can just using tools, sending files. I think it already got our recommended jobs.csv. And it completed the work. And here are my jobs: weights and biases, staff PM, AI PM, generative AI, Agentic, Harvey product. So this CSV file came. And now what you can do is you can use the next prompt in our story. So this is the recommended job CSV that it created for us. And now what you can do is you can use our next prompt, which is in our lab, tells it to go and apply it for you. When it goes and does that, it will need access to your browser and a tool called MCP, that is the Claude connector that allows it to do browsing inside your profile inside Chrome. That will allow it to do the next level of things. So this is just browsing. You say, oh, Mahesh, I could have done it on Manus, or I could have done it anywhere. But the next step makes it little more forward or little more awesome. So here you say, hey, you know what? I got this file, which you got from the first step, recommendation dot job application tracker. I don't want that. So we got a recommendation, recommended jobs. Use this file and my resume, which is here, and analyze my resume, match it with each job in the CSV, open each job link in the browser tool, and apply the relevant jobs for me. Then I sit back, I relax, and then it will go open browser. It will ask you for a bunch of permissions. Can I have access to this site? Can I do clicks on this site? And you keep giving it access, and it keeps doing job for you. And you say, okay, open each job link before I start. Do you want me to authorize me to submit job application on your behalf? Yes, no. From application requiring login, should I ask you to log in first? Provide credentials. I recommend you log in yourself. Any jobs you want to skip? I just say, go ahead. Yes, on everything. And after this, all of you can just kill me by saying that you just violated all the security stuff. But first, we need to see the capabilities. Then we will figure out how to secure this. But because it's going to these website, and then it will say, okay, got it. So it has ranked the jobs, it's done the job, and now it has created a new plans for me. These are the jobs it's going to apply. It has all these jobs pending right now. And then it will say, perfect, now let me start applying for each job. And it will go and send these messages. And it opens the browser. It asks me, can I go to this website? I say, always allow. You can browse, you can click through this website. So it will go. And now you see this Claude started debugging in this browser. So you see that Claude is doing the work, not me. I can just keep my hands up and things will happen on this browser. And as you will see that I can just keep giving me permissions and it will keep opening these websites and then start filling the forms on these. Once it is done, my next prompt tells it to connect to Slack and send me a report when it is done. And that's pretty much it. So now I have a function which goes, looks for the jobs which are relevant to me based on my strategy, based on my resume, and based on the jobs that I applied yesterday. Then it goes on websites, fill the form, and apply jobs for me. This, as you will see, is not as fast as you want it to be. But to be honest, I don't work in nights and my laptop is there. And Claude Code at this point, at this $100 subscription, gives me infinite access to these. Like it has not, we have not run out of limits. So you can continue running these long jobs during the night. And you can also have another agent just click yes, yes, if they got stuck. So this will continue as you will see here. You will see that, okay, I'm doing this search box, enter product manager into the form field. This is what I did. And if you click on it, you can go here in the context and you can see it works. So this is the progress. It's going in the first one, but you can see what's happening behind the scenes. It's taking these screenshots and it's going, and now it run into a problem. Sorry, we could not find anything here. When it went to scale, it didn't find the position that it thought it had. Now it is going to the next tab. Now it will keep going after one after another till the job is done. So that's pretty much how you see the context, the tools, and this recursive loop of doing the work for you in action, which is what obviously was possible before, but now it's possible with context of your files and it has access to your drives, which kind of scary. But if you are working, people are doing is putting a different machine and just giving file access to these machines on that particular machine. And that way they are saving or securing their work related laptops or where they are doing most of their work. But it's so powerful that you're ready to take those risks. So that's pretty much the demo piece of this. And if you look at this, what happened eventually when this is done, I was playing with it. You will see a lot of limitation, by the way. So let me walk you through some of the limitations that I observed while playing with it. So let me show you the last session I did with it, where I tried to accomplish this task. And it comes back and it says, you know what? I can't upload these resumes. You have to do it yourself. And I keep telling it, no, 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 go do it for yourself. It after it, sometime it says, I have applied for this job, but I can't apply for this job because it's closed. I have these six more to do. It's been 45 minutes I'm working. Why don't I just create this plan for you and you go do the hard work? And then I came back and I said, no, 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 no. I hired you, create an awesome, this is, I just was creating an awesome graph. But before this, I just told it and I have to tell it 5 times. Don't ask me to apply. You need to apply, period. Feel free to use this CV to upload. It will keep coming back to me and keep saying that, hey, you know what? It's been a while. I have applied for one job. I failed on one. I have six more to go. Why don't I change the plan? Why don't you go and do it? I have created a step-by-step instruction for you. And I was like, dude, I paid you $100. So why don't you go do the work? If resume is your problem, here is a resume. And then it goes, it tries to apply one more, and then it stops and says, oh, it's taking too much time. Why don't you go do the job? So that's one problem. Second, it's just damn slow. It took it like 1 hour to apply or do these two jobs. And then it's kind of stopped for me. And then I have to come and feed it again. So you see that limitation as well. There's no way for us to update or put contextual memory in it. Like in Claude Code, you can do hash and do a claude.md file. Here, there's no claude.md file where you can put all the instructions and then it will apply session after session. I can't store that. I have to give it in each session. I have to give these. So this is still going, which is a good sign. Hopefully it continues to do and apply these. It's yet to apply that job. But other cool thing that was there was that actually I can go and get a Slack message out of it. So what happens is when it is done, it sends me a Slack message saying, hey, I have applied these jobs. I have put a file. And then next day it will wake up. It will take that last day file as a reference and then apply more jobs, which it was able to apply or which you approved for it to apply. So I hope this gives you a quick flavor of what are the capabilities of Claude Cowork. And obviously, there are basic things like you can do, which I tried to do here. I just tried to take this, I give it a screenshot, this one, and I said, this is boring data. Why don't you create this new data for me? And it went ahead and said, okay, I will create these graphics for you. And then it didn't even create the graphics. It went ahead and stored it in my folder. So if I go, obviously it's going in that local agent. But if I go to my folder, you will see these graphics. So there is like, and everybody on YouTube is showing you a different way to use this tool. But the basic things you need to understand is that, hey, it creates a plan, it works in your context, and then it calls a lot of tools to accomplish whatever job you are trying to do. And at this point, there is a huge ecosystem of these tools that works with Claude so that pretty much any job you are doing, if it you use a tool to get that job done, Claude can go and do that for you. Okay, then what does it mean for us as product managers? Now we have something as cool as Cowork. Obviously, we can use it, but let's see how we can go ahead and apply these skills for our own learning or growth. So this lab first walks you through, so you apply the jobs, and when you are done, it also sends you a quick Slack message. That's your next piece, how to do connectors. So you can connect your WhatsApp, you can connect your email, you can connect your Slack, and then it sends you this message that, hey, Mahesh, I have applied these jobs. I found 25 highly recommended jobs. Here are the jobs. And I have applied 3 of them. I couldn't apply 7 of them because of XYZ reasons. And then you can go and make it more powerful next day. And with few iterations, hopefully you can build your own assistant and you never need to apply for a job again. There are a lot of limitations. You can get the link to the lab here. We also have a job preparation where there is another lab which helps you build the right strategy to find jobs and focus on few jobs rather than every job in the world. Here are 10 prompts which helps you do your PM function faster inside Claude Code or Claude Cowork. And this is the agent SDK I was talking about. This is where they talk about these essential things which are required to build tools like that. That what you need is this idea that I will gather the context, I will take the action, I will verify the work, and I will start again. And how they do the context, how they create agents, how they call tools, which is bash and code generation, how they bring the MCP specific thing like Slack, Asana, web browsing that you saw today, and then how they verify your work with visual feedback. They take the screenshot and they see, is this correctly done? Am I clicking the right button? And then they're using LLM as a judge to see if they accomplish the job or not. And that's it. So that is pretty much behind the scenes. This is the labs we will do in cohort so that you know the building blocks to get here. We have this awesome cohort that we run every quarter, I believe. And the next one is coming up in February. There are only 6 seats left. That's what my sales want me to say in the beginning of the session. But I took the way of saying it now because I wanted to make sure that you get what you came for. But if you want to join, I think it will be a great fundamentals to the mastery session that you are looking at today. And hopefully everything will make sense and you need not to worry about going after 200 things. You can just focus for 4 weeks and learn everything you need to learn to become successful in this new agentic era. And you will learn a lot. You will learn everything under the sun in that cohort. And then we also do 3 labs on Claude Code, which takes you to next level and make it much more effective for you to work with developers. We will show you how Claude Code works. We will install it, and then we'll run all the use cases of PM as well as engineering in Claude Code in that lab. If you want to subscribe, this is the link. I think we start on 7th Feb. As soon as I come back, the next one is the interview prep. So this year I also started this interview prep one where we spend 3 weeks to 4 weeks to sharpen your skills, to build the right strategy, to give you all the tools and everything I know to succeed in AI PM interviews. Not normal product sense, but AI product sense and AI product execution. We also discuss system design and technical jobs you need to succeed. With that said, if you don't want to do any of that, next week, I will be talking about how AI PM interview actually work in 2026, all the signals I'm seeing, because a lot of people come and call me saying, Mahesh, I have an interview. This is what they are asking me. What can I do? So I've curated all that list for all of you, and I will share that next week at 9 a.m. Hopefully, that will be morning for me in US and not night like this. We have awesome reviews. So thank you for the community who have taken our cohort and shared their reviews. I think there's a lot you learn, and people are very kind to us to share these reviews. So if you want to check, you can click these links and see what others have done. And feel to ping anyone. All these are real people, and you can talk to them one-on-one to see what works, what doesn't work in the cohort. With that said, that is all I have to share today, and hopefully it was useful.